Yo, check this out.
Previously heard. Good Hope FM. Let's go.
Knock, who's there? Who that is?
There's a special guest at our doorstep. You're invited. Exclusive to Good Hope FM.
My goodness, of course we had to bring in the intro for the one, the only. Okay, let me set this up for you, all right, TLC fam. You are in for such a treat today. I can't wait for this guy to switch his mic on, because joining us is one of South Africa's funniest and most beloved comedians. In fact, some call him the king of comedy of Cape Town, and you know him from his sharp wit, his unforgettable characters. He is so good at physical comedy and the way he turns everyday South African life into pure comedy gold. So buckle up and get in, members, because we're bringing some liquor to the lunch club with Kurt Schoonraad.
Wow. Carissa, what an introduction.
I had to do it.
That's fabulous. Thank you.
You should take it with you on stage.
Man.
Just to like intro you every time.
I would love that. Kurt Schoonraad, you know, if I throw it back to 2016, I just graduated. I'd entered into the radio space. I was doing 1 to 4 a.m. at Good Hope at that time. And all of a sudden, these guys said, Carissa, you're so good enough to jump on the J&B Met stage. I said,
Come on now. Come
you're
on.
talking about me?
I remember that.
And I stood next to you. I stood next to DJ Lloyd. And we had the biggest hat in the world. And we basically...
I remember that
Come
now.
on. And I said, this is the Kurt Schoonraad.
Yeah,
like,
I get it.
Do you get it?
Of
Like,
course I get it.
Do you get it?
I mean, you know, when you grow up in Cape Town, when you grow up in SA and you want to be in entertainment or you love being entertained, it is a name that is just synonymous with the city, the country. And I mean, you've been doing this for a long time. We've also, I'm sure we've shared moments on stage. Yeah, so
many black tie events.
Yeah, that's it, man. That's just out there getting those corporates.
Indeed. That is such an introduction as well, especially coming from you, Mr. Performer. I'm a huge fan as well.
Thank you, Kurt.
I love what you guys do.
Appreciate that, man.
Cheers, man.
Listen, we talk about these moments coming up from back in the day, we're throwing back some memories.
Yeah.
If someone asks you right now, or your kid says, look, I want to be a comedian, what do you say to them?
Man, I say just do it.
Okay.
People talk about doing it all the time.
Yeah.
I was there too. I'm like, next week I'm going to check it out. Go to your local stand-up space. There's always one in town. Check out what is done and you go, I can do that.
Okay.
Write your set. Be honest. Talk about yourself, your family, your community. And book your 5 minutes, bro.
Oh my goodness, that's crazy. I think that Jerry Saunders needs to do that at some point, because she is hilarious.
Is that what it is? Is it 5 minutes?
Yeah.
5 minutes?
Do your 5 minents.
And that's it.
That's it. You know, all of you I got stage experience with. We had a corporate together years ago in Joburg as well.
Yeah.
Incredible. Kurt, I got to ask you though, you've been doing comedy for decades now. You're so fantastic at what you do. I got to see you live in action on Monday as well. But was there a moment when you were doing comedy that you realized, like, this is it? Like, I'm going to pursue this full-heartedly.
Man, you saw my show on Monday night. I compared it to, have you ever stood next to a real South African Springbok in a lift or something like that? You look at this oak and you go, that is a lifetime of conditioning, of tackling, of running, of sprinting. That's how you get that big. Comedy is exactly the same thing. It's a lifetime of conditioning. I think silly things happen to comedians so that they got something to talk about later on in their lives. And that whole show is all about those silly situations.
Amazing, man.
It was incredible. Like,
Thank you.
couldn't stop laughing. I brought my parents as well.
Really?
I was a little bit nervous. I said, is this guy clean or not? I don't know.
Squeaky clean.
It's squeaky clean. My Christian mom was laughing her head off too. So you know that you're good. You know that you're good.
Cheers, man.
Oh,
Thank you.
man. A bit early on the show, we were talking about biopics and who would play you, and we came up with these ideas. Like we said, Drew Barrymore should play Jerry Saunders. I spoke about Tessa Thompson. They were struggling with me. They couldn't find someone. They couldn't find this faces. It's that Athlone Crawford face. It's very unique because it started in Portland and then it grew up in Athlone.
Ooh, there's a support group for both
know,
of us there, bro.
That's what I'm talking about, man. Who would play you in a biopic?
Oh, that's a good question. I reckon Tim Curry would have been fantastic. I would have so loved to have the Tim Curry play it. He's had a bit of bad health luck recently, so I doubt he'll be playing it. But I mean, as far as the character goes and the expressions I'd love to be able to have someone like that do it, because he's just
crazy.
the bomb.
That is like on the money, like proper. You'd be able to carry the energy of Kurt Schoonraad, because that is something that's difficult to do.
Man, you know, it's an honor. Thank you very much to have that said about me. But there's also something about he's got a facial expression
Yeah.
that I've been trying to copy for years. So actually I should play his bio.
Please do. Oh my goodness, the producers need to get in touch. But one thing that is great about you, I mean, there are many, but Kurt, you're really good at like physical comedy, like your facial expressions, the way you do impersonations even are so fantastic. And to me, you come across as like a social observer. Do you ever just people watch?
Man, that is the thing I enjoy the most. I'll grab a cup of coffee somewhere on a sidewalk where there's a lot of traffic, and I will just watch people be happy, confused, angry. And I always say this, I'm not really a comedian, I'm a comedy medium. So the energy comes through me. All I do is I channel it in a certain direction, and when a character comes up, you know what's rad? I wrote that show with a very clear thing in mind as to what it should be. And then Monday night, when it saw the stage for the very first time, it turned into something else completely.
How does that happen?
It's happened to me before. It gets a personality of its own. You guys know this word. And it's a piece of art that you put together, and you hope it's going to go in a certain way. And then it goes, no. I'll find my own way. Thanks for helping.
Yeah.
Can you just stand back over there, Mr. Comedy Medium? And then it just happened. Everything came together. The stories came together beautifully. I was so chuffed with the way it came
No, it was
together.
fantastic.
That is so great, man. Kurt, tell us as well, when you think about some of the weirdest shows you've played, because I mean, we've all been in very interesting performance
Oh, we all know that.
venues, and not even just scenarios.
Okay.
Like you walk out and you're like, oh wow, or you do your sound check. Do you have anything that comes to mind?
Man, I had one a few years ago at the Mining in Durban. The audience was from all over the world. So English wasn't exactly the common
The
ground.
mother
as-
tongue.
And I was a little concerned about that. And of course, you polish up on all of your international kind of trivia, make sure all the boxes are ticked. My brother had me on a bridge over a pool
Okay.
with all of these different groups around. I went on stage, did a half an hour, came off, and nobody knew I was there.
Other than your bank account.
My bank account knew I was there. But that was about it. It was one of those gigs where you go, hey, listen, man.
Yeah.
It's fine.
It's
It's all right.
fine.
It just is what it is. I remember walking with my last line was, oh, it's fantastic. And you guys, you weren't even there. Really. Cheers.
Okay, so it's not even an ego thing for you. Like you didn't feel any
not
type
at
of way.
all. No, at the end of the day, I also know that you're going to get killer gigs that are absolutely fantastic, and you're going to get ones that don't go your way.
Yeah.
And if it balances out more towards your favor, then I think you're doing okay.
Yeah.
I love that. I feel like you're so good at the art of letting go.
Man, there's two kinds of comedians, they say.
Yeah.
Those who have died and those who will die.
Oh, wow.
End of story.
It sounds like you've died enough times to know how to deal with it.
I've turned dying into an art form. There are nights I come on there, and sometimes it's at a corporate, for example. They're not there to see you. They're there for our whole
Yeah.
awards ceremony.
Yes.
And then I'm like, okay, no, don't laugh now. And they patronize me.
Love that, man. If you guys just joined in, Kurt Schoonraad in the building on the Lunch Club. We still have a host of things we want to chat to him about. Then we got a little something for you in the second part of our conversation, Kurt. So on the Lunch Club, we have a book. And in the book, you write a question for our next guest who comes next week.
Wow,
we don't know who the guest is,
Yeah.
and nor do you. The person who wrote it last week didn't know that you would be here today.
Fantastic.
So there's a question for you
I love
and one
that.
for you to write. And that happens in the next segment on the Lunch Club.
The Lunch Club with Carissa Cupido and Chad Simon. Only on Good Hope FM.
Good Hope FM, Cape Town's original.
Cape Town's original.
Kurt Schoonraad spent some time with us today. As for you invited, we get to chat to him. He's got the book where he writes a question, but we're going to unveil the question to him in just a bit. Your question actually comes from Craig Lucas, which is one of SA's finest artists. So he has a question for you. Should
He
we tell him
does.
now, but later?
Let's keep it for a little bit
Okay,
longer
cool.
because I do have a burning question within me that I've got to ask you. One thing I loved about your show, again, more than one thing, but one thing I'll point out is the fact that you are just like a Cape Town original. You use so many phrases and so many words from the mother city that it makes it feel like home, right? So I want you to rate a couple of words that people have maybe used in their lifetime.
Okay.
Okay, or phrases. Okay, let's start with the word goose.
Goose. Goose is very old school.
Uh-huh.
Goose is like from the 60s and 70s, and I use that all the time.
Okay.
And it's amazing how it's caught up, because now I've got people that come up to me and go, how's your goose, bro? So they've picked up on it, although my goose does not like it at all.
She doesn't like it?
No, she doesn't.
Why not?
Well, she doesn't understand. She's a German national, so she doesn't get the comedic reference to it.
She's like, you calling me a goose?
I am no bird, yeah. What you are talking about?
Wait till she hears kunt, another word that we use to describe women.
It's not kunt, eh?
What is it?
It's kun.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay, so we
what's
just
the
need to
word
can we give you some context? So
Yes.
this my co-host over here, she grew up in an area that she calls Muizenberg East,
Ooh.
which is close to Spine Road side.
It's Strandfontein, man.
Strandfontein.
Oh, you a Strandfonteiner.
I am a Strandfonteinian.
Mitchell's playing by the coast.
Kurt gets it. He gets it.
yeah.
So sometimes words missed me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and we have to do and even Jerry sometimes has to help.
I have to help Chris.
Because one day someone said, "Say for your mother's fist,"
Yeah, my bro.
and Jerry was like, "No, that means that." Yeah.
Also, I think it's a generational thing,
Yeah.
potentially.
Okay,
It is.
potentially.
So in my generation, for example, Silvio Mara's Fus is just such a. It's like the ice cream man with that horrible
Yeah.
sounding song, you know. It was just part of that. The one was Fus and the other one was ice cream. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah, I love that. How about the word daedalic?
Daedalic. Oh, that's fantastic, because that word just directly translated means clear.
Clear.
But in a colloquial context, it just means everything that's positive, lekker,
Yeah.
cool. And it's the kind of thing that used to be on the back of every taxi's window. Too damn
Yeah,
daedalic.
right. Yeah, you're right.
Too damn clear. But it
Yeah.
just means lekker.
So good. I'm going to throw one more. Aitsa.
Aitsa.
Mwah.
And Aitsa is the same thing.
Of course.
Yeah.
Do you like it?
Yeah.
I do. There's another one you're missing there. Tweedaimer.
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 It's all good.
It's
like,
all good.
in the hood,
I like
man.
that when I missed it, but I like it.
Tweedaimer. I'm gonna throw a few more. I didn't prepare these, but like
Do it.
Bamang.
Pamang. Yeah, that one came a
you know that
little
one?
later, but it became one of those flats words that just meant everything positive.
Yeah.
It was
Okay.
cool. I
How does it
remember
go?
that.
Bamang.
Yo, that's a
Bamang.
bamangda idea.
Yeah, you
bro.
could say bamangda, bamang. I know Herschel Gibbs uses that word when he sees me.
Bamang.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, when Herschel sees me, he goes 1 2 1 2 testing 1 2. Yeah, I saw your show. You guys were bamang. Eh?
I've heard my dad use this one. Eet gevat soos 'n nat kat.
Yeah. Very, very eloquently done.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That just means slick.
You like it?
Salik.
slick,
You
yeah.
got to split the slick up. Salik.
Salik.
Here's another one. How about you know when a kid is doing something really amazing and you're a parent or an uncle or auntie and they're saying you must dance? Hey yo. Hey yo.
Hey, yo.
Hey yo. You know that one?
My mom still uses it. Like, listen, if I show up now with a cool car or something, the first thing she'll do, I'll roll down the window and go, hey yo.
How do you even spell that?
Hey yo.
Nah, it's just meant to be said. You don't
Yeah,
spell that one.
you're right.
It's
I love
like
that.
Latin. It doesn't
language
have
that-
speaking, and that's only got anyway. You know what I mean?
I love that, Kurt. All right, let's move on to this book. There's a blue book in front of you. If you open it, you'll find an envelope. Within that envelope is a message from Craig Lucas, like we've mentioned. He's asking you a question.
Yeah.
For the record, I met Craig Lucas for the first time about a week ago.
No
Okay.
at a
way.
show, and he was unbelievable.
Yeah.
He did a version of Prince's
Purple Rain.
Rain that just came as a just.
Nah, he's a
fantastic.
generational talent.
No, he's fabulous.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
You don't have to be from any one generation to spot that
Yeah.
kind
Yeah.
of talent.
Yeah.
you know,
Right.
it's
Yeah.
just-
Yeah.
So, Craig Lucas, I'm opening your envelopes right now. It's written in Koki because it came through the other side. Okay. Here
He
we
even
go.
reconsidered. There are two
that's
questions
right.
that he scratched out there.
What's the most embarrassing thing that's happened to you?
Oh,
Oh, this is lovely. Okay, how much time do you have? Like I said, I channel comedy, so embarrassing things happen to me all the time. Now, I remember my first show. I was an open micer at a comedy festival, and there were 3 people in the audience the first night out, and there was a guy sitting right in the front row with a really bright shirt on, and I was panicking because I didn't have the material to actually go through the empty room. So I jumped straight into this oak in his bright shirt, and I think I might have taken it too far, only to find out after the show that he was the critic sent there to crit the show. It was a very strange way to hand in my resignation.
Very early in your career too.
Very early. The promoter at the time just went, don't worry, bro. It just happens. It was an empty night, and but I tell you what, when I found out who he was, I tried to find him.
I'm colorblind.
I couldn't see.
It's just jokes. It's just jokes.
And I remember then is like, make sure you know who the crits in the room are.
Yeah.
And just so that you know.
How do you know? Do they not stay anonymous so you can't spot them?
Well, you see, here's the thing: there's a couple of cheats. Every time I go on stage with a production, I've got a publicist working with me, so they know who the crits are, and they'll go seat 75A, 62, and 79. All right, here we go.
Got
Stay
you.
away from those people.
Goodness, what's been the worst critic or response that you've gotten?
Review?
A review.
The worst review was I didn't understand what Kurt was saying. So that was a Joburg crit. So I've adapted my set quite a bit since then. I try not to use the colloquial stuff too much. I use it as a punctuation point sometimes. Because Daedalic, for example, is not a Joburg thing. They don't get it. The goose thing they get because it's got a more of a universal thing. So I'm very cautious about how I construct my sets if I'm doing a Joburg thing or a PE thing or even an Australia thing or that kind of. So you got to get very clear about what it is you can do and what you can't do.
I just think like you're such a great social observer, as Carissa said, and I mean even to have the the kind of fortitude to understand the detail of just changing certain words in a set. So many times people just do what they feel like doing, but we realize like what we do with entertainment is for everybody else, man.
Man, there's a moment in that show, Carissa, and it's a moment that I've got I struggle with because the punctuation is a pause. It's that moment when you don't know what's going on and you go that pause. And as a musician, jazz is not only good beats, it's good pauses too.
Great pauses, man.
So the pause is sometimes the best punctuation you can have.
Sure. That takes control because in radio, there are no pauses. No such thing as dead air.
When there's a pause, there's a problem.
There's a problem. You're panicking.
There's a panic attack.
There is. Here's a fun question. If you woke up as the president for a day and you had to address the country, my fellow South Africans, what is one of the things that you would implement?
I would implement the banning of Wednesday as a work day completely.
Yes.
No more public holidays though.
Make it happen.
No more public holidays. Just no more Wednesday work days. Monday, Tuesday, have a little bit of a blast, and then you come back for Thursday, Friday, and then we have the weekend.
Ooh, I like that. Re-energized to finish the week strong.
I think the productivity will increase.
Yes.
Immensely.
I think.
What do we do to make you president?
Where do we vote?
Well, if you remember correctly, Carissa, I do start my own party in my show.
Okay.
I'm not going to give it away. You must come and see it.
I just recalled now.
But it's
good.
It's a fantastic theory that you can start a political party in South Africa and name it what you want to name.
Okay, cool.
Got to see that.
You got to go check out the show.
Yeah,
that's what we got to do. We got to check out the show. All the listeners are sending messages through saying, laughing very loud here in the office, enjoying the show so far. And man, Kurt, it's been so great having you here with us, spending time with us, getting to chat.
Thanks.
And a lot of the time you go back and we like to have fun on the lunch club. Like I think Carissa, most days we say like she'll be like, oh, it feels like a Friday, but then it's like I'm like, nah, it's Monday. It's like, oh, it feels like the weekend's around the corner. I'm like, behind corner, not forward.
She predicted this earlier on already, because if I ban Wednesdays as a work day, today would be Saturday, bro.
I would love that.
Can I just drop my dates and times in for the show before I forget? The 12th, which was Monday past, to the 17th, this Saturday at the Baxter.
Okay.
And here's a very special thing I want to add, is that on Saturday I have an all-inclusive show, which essentially I've got a sign interpreter on stage with me for the deaf community. So come, stick out. Even if you're a hearing person, come. It's going to be fantastic.
That's really cool.
Love that. And he was there on Monday too.
He was.
That is so amazing.
Just to get the practice in. I can spell my name in sign as well.
You taught me the same thing.
Amazing.
A legit person, hey? A legit
person. Listen, I'm going to
had
get...
these accidents before.
No. I'm going to get the guy that did Madiba's birthday for the first 5 minutes of Saturday show just to confuse the deaf community.
Oh man, it's been amazing having you here, Kurt. Thank you so much for spending time with us.
Feel it. For more, tune in to goodhopefm.co.za.
It's all you need.